Altos is brought to you by the kind compliments of Rituals Coffee House.
Good evening and welcome to Altos, a weekly news and current affairs program produced by the Catholic News and broadcast on Trinity TV and TTT. I'm Neil Parsonlal, and I want to thank Roger for holding the fort for the last 2 weeks. Our top stories this week. His Grace Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon praises Pope Francis for teaching the world what is mercy. Members of the protective services urged to fight crime and the scourge of corruption without fear or favor. Lara Pickford Gordon delves into the story of how the tambour bamboo became a musical instrument. And later we speak with the principal of the National Center for Persons with Disabilities, Kahaya Pokerin, on their recent victory and party with Marshall Montano. Now for our top story. Pope Francis had a restful 15th night in Rome's Gemelli Hospital, where he's been treated for bilateral pneumonia. The Holy See said in a press office statement on Friday morning, and I quote, as in recent days, the night passed calmly and the Pope is now resting, end quote. The press release stated that the Pope's clinical condition continued to improve, though it remains complex. The press office added that his prognosis remained guarded, noting that his therapy is continuing. He spent Thursday afternoon in prayer and attending the various work-related activities. The Vatican, meanwhile, has revealed a moving letter the Holy Father wrote shortly before his hospitalization. In the letter, set to appear in the monthly magazine Piazza San Pietro, Pope Francis responded to a grieving Roman mother who lost her 21-year-old son. In her letter to the Holy Father, Cinzia recounted her story of loss, pain, sorrow, and the crisis of faith she and her husband experienced after their son's death. At the end of her letter, she asked the pontiff, why did God not save her son? Is he in heaven, and is he the family's guardian angel? Pope Francis opened his letter to her with this response, quote, there are no words, not even comforting ones, despite the best intentions to say to someone who has lost a child, end quote. In response to her questions, he explained, it is impossible to have all the answers in the face of the mystery of innocent suffering, but he urged her to, quote, always seek the intercession of Mary, who comforts the pain of mother for their children, who having left home one day, never returned, end quote. Mary, he said, accompanies every broken heart. Using the words of his predecessor, St. John Paul II, Pope Francis encouraged Cinzia to have hope because, quote, there is no evil from which God cannot bring about a greater good, end quote. Meanwhile, the prayer vigils for the pontiff's recovery continue. On Thursday, the Holy Rosary was prayed again in St. Peter's Square with Cardinal Baldassare Regna, the Vicar General for the Diocese of Rome, presiding over the prayer service. The Vatican also confirmed that due to the Pope's continued hospitalization, the Jubilee audience scheduled for Saturday, March 1st, has been cancelled. And as the world continues to pray for the recovery of Pope Francis, who remains hospitalized at Gemelli Hospital in Rome, His Grace Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon says that when his legacy is settled, there are many things that we will see that the Holy Father contributed to the history of the Church. As Roger Sant tells us, as His Grace delivered the homily at Mass on Sunday, he commended Pope Francis for showing the world what mercy looks like.
These days, our minds and our hearts are turned to Rome with our Holy Father in hospital and really struggling at this moment. Really struggling.
Delivering the homily at Mass at the Living Water community last Sunday, His Grace Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon observed that the whole papacy of Pope Francis has been one of mercy.
Very early on, he said, I am a sinner mercied by God. He turned mercy into a verb, something that God does to us. And by turning mercy into a verb, he turns mercy into the activity of God that God does in the ordinariness of the human life and in the relationship with this God.
His Grace noted that The Face of God is Mercy was the title of the document when Pope Francis announced the Year of Mercy for the whole Church. an extraordinary Jubilee year in which the Holy Father is calling the whole church to recognize that we are becoming harsh and judgmental, and as church we need to become more merciful.
And the only way we can do that, brothers and sisters, is by allowing ourselves to be mercied by God.
When Pope Francis's legacy is written, he said, only then will the world understand what Pope Francis stood for.
When his legacy is settled, there are many, many things that we will see that the Holy Father contributed to the history of the church through his magisterium. Many things. The key to the whole of the papacy of Pope Francis is mercy. It is mercy.
His Grace cautioned that when we don't believe in the mercy of God, or when we don't trust the mercy of God, there's no way forward in the spiritual life. He urged all Roman Catholics in this year of Jubilee to go to the sacrament of reconciliation at a sacred site and do what is required for mercy. I'm Roger Sant reporting for Catholic News Altos.
Archbishop Gordon has praised Darrell Henry, also known in the Calypso world as Farmer Nappy, for his song Thankful, which His Grace said takes us out of the mire of foolishness that passes for carnival to another level. Delivering the homily at early morning mass at the chapel at Archbishop's house on Wednesday, February 26th, His Grace spoke about the kind of music and outfits that are evident at carnival time. But out of the blue, he said, came a ray of hope in the form of Thankful, which gives thanks to God for every blessing.
Out of this mire of all kinds of wonderful foolishness, you have one person breaking through consciousness and going to a whole other level of consciousness. And so when I saw and listened to Nappy in his Calypso thanks, my soul just burst. It just burst. Because here, in the midst of all the negative that we know about Trinidad and Tobago, our soul is crying out in thanksgiving to our God. And that says that there's something in the consciousness of our people that wants to come forward and break through this mundane, this terrible negativity that we've been living with for so long. Go and find the song. Thanks. It's a beautiful reminder that no matter what happened in your life, thanks, thanks, thanks.
A few weeks ago, Farmer Nappy sat right here with us as a guest on Altos, and he expressed thanks and appreciation to Michael Teja, who he said wrote Thankful and offered it to him to perform. In a brief response to His Grace, Farmer Nappy said, quote, "Thankful to Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon for giving praises to my song during Holy Mass," end quote. Roman Catholic priest Father Isaac Umoru is urging Catholics to obey Jesus' command to love your enemies. But he said in doing so, it must be done with wisdom. Using the recent attack on Roman Catholic priest Father Maurice White as an example, Father Umoru told the congregation at the St. Francis of Assisi RC Church that while Father Maurice showed love to the men by trying to help them, they in turn showed nothing but hatred when they attacked him. Roger Sant has more in this report.
1 month after Father Maurice White was attacked by bandits, beaten, and his car stolen, he continues to recover. But his experience has prompted Father Isaac Umoru to caution the faithful to be extremely cautious.
Those who attacked Father Maurice, did they love him? They don't love him. But as a priest and as a disciple of Jesus, he loved them.
On a day when the gospel reading from the book of Luke had Jesus telling his disciples to love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who treat you badly, Father Umoru told the congregation at the St. Francis of Assisi Church in Sangre Grande that even though God has called us to love our enemies, we must do so with wisdom and within boundaries because we live in a wicked world.
Let's say, for instance, Father Maurice wanted to assist those guys in his vehicle. Is that not what he wanted to do? Is that not love? Was he not showing them love? So what did they show him back? What did they show him back? Hatred. If not for the mercies of God, what would have happened to him would have been worse than that.
I'm Roger Sant reporting for Catholic News Altos.
Members of the protective services have been urged to continue the fight against all forms of crime, criminality, and corruption in Trinidad and Tobago but to do so without fear or favor. The call came from Vicar General Father Martin Sergio on Friday, February 21st, at a special service for the protective services at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception in Port of Spain. Catholic News editor Raymond Sims has more in this report.
Wake up, my people, and open every door. Wake up inside the Lord, my people evermore.
Members of the police service, the defense force, the fire and prison services, the Coast Guard, the Air Guard, and others came together at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception on Friday, February 21st, for a special service for the protective services, as part of this year's Jubilee observances. Delivering the sermon, Vicar General Father Martin Sergio acknowledged the many negatives often spouted against the protective services. But this was a time for thanks, he said.
Thank you for putting your lives on the line as members of these seven different bodies. Thank you for the babies you delivered because the mothers could not reach the hospital on time. Thank you for rescuing people in times of danger, especially children. Thank you for guarding the country's borders, even with your limited resources. Thank you for giving us safe carnivals year after year. Thank you for allowing prisoners to thrive and showcase their artwork, as some of them become very great artists.
Father Sergio encouraged the men and women of the protective services to do their duty with humility, respect, and always in the interest of good.
We pray for you that you be given the strength to resist evil, especially when it comes in attractive packages.
With the Financial Intelligence Unit reporting billions in suspicious transactions, he urged them to fight crime at every level, whether it be gangs or white-collar crimes.
You are the guardians of this country in many areas, and so I ask you to continue without fear or favor to fight all that is evil, to fight all that is corrupt.
Doing good, he said, is always hard, but it is what they must always keep at the top of their minds.
You are my God.
I am Raymond Sims, reporting for Catholic News, Altos.
The tambo bamboo was created in the late 19th century out of resistance when the British put a ban on Africans banning drums in 1884. But communication and creative expression could not be silenced. Tambo bamboo was the precursor to the steel pan, and there are few tambo bamboo bands still around. Senior reporter Lara Pickford-Gordon and videographer Elmo Griffith met up with members of the Gasparillo Tambo Bamboo specialists about their experiences and how the simple bamboo was turned into a musical instrument.
The Gasparillo Tambo Bamboo specialists were among the entertainers at the opening of the John Cupid Carnival Village on February 7. The band has been around for more than 50 years. Neil Joseph, Steve Whitaker, and Anderson Henry have been members collectively for about 100 years. Joseph told Altos they are proud to keep the tradition alive and get younger people involved.
I feel proud to be a part of this traditional aspect of our culture. You know? And we try our best to keep it going, keep it alive, because the elder guys, you know, time coming where we will be able to play, so we trying to keep the youth and them involved in it now.
The group has 20 members ranging in age from 18 to 78. For performances, there may be 6 to 12 players. Carnival is a busy time for them as they are invited to the launch of regional carnivals and do school workshops. Joseph explained how new members are brought in.
Start them off by handing them a bamboo and let them create their own song, their own beat with the bamboo. We show them a easy beat, you know. One.
The process of turning bamboo into an instrument of music starts with getting the right bamboo from a bamboo patch. It cannot be too young. The stalk must not have any insect holes, as this affects the sound quality. Hollowing out between the joints of the bamboo gives different tonal effects. The bamboo instruments are named for their different pitch: bass, fuller, and cutter. Joseph said Fuller had a sound like a mid-range pan, while the cutter is of a higher pitch like a tenor. A beater is used to strike the bamboo to create tunes.
We have a number of tunes. Yeah. From stick fighting song to yeah, to calypso to picong song, you know, different variety.
For longevity, the tampu bamboo should not be exposed to excessive sunlight as it can crack. After cutting pieces of bamboo, Whitaker, Henry, and Joseph played a catchy rhythm. I tried my hand, but it was obvious I was out of timing. I am Lara Pickford Gordon for Catholic News, Altos.
And after Carnival, the season of Lent begins. And Lent begins formally on Ash Wednesday. And as is the tradition, faithful attend Holy Mass or a service, during which a sign of the cross is traced on the forehead with ash. But there is no need to worry if, for whatever reason, you're not able to attend. Chair of the Liturgical Commission, Monsignor Michael Divertile, spoke with Altos briefly about the symbolism of receiving ashes.
If you don't receive ashes, it's not going to hinder your journey with the Lord. It's not going to hinder your life in any way. It's a good thing to do. It's a reminder of what the season is about, but it is not obligatory to receive ashes. Lord, I'm before you. Ashes, I repent. The ashes are that sign of repentance that I may follow the gospel. And ashes is a reminder of that we're really nothing before God. The humility that we need to be good Christians and to help us come to conversion that Lent is designed for.
And we urge you to visit catholictt.org website or the social media platforms for a list of Ash Wednesday masses and services. It's now time for us to take a short break, and when we return, we speak with Kahea Puckrin, the principal of the National Center for Persons with Disabilities, about their party with Machel Montano.
Thank you very much. SCB, I love you too. I love you all. And I hope we can party again. We can party again. Bye-bye.
So welcome back. Our guest this evening is the principal of the National Center for Persons with Disabilities, Kahea Puckrin. We just saw the video with Machel partying with the members of the center. They, of course, won the competition put on by Machel to promote his own song, Party. They certainly had fun and posted this video as part of their thank you. And they also posted this image saying thank you to everyone. Today, we are no longer Trinidad and Tobago's best kept secret. Thank you everyone for your love and support. See the ability, not the disability. Ms. Puckering, thanks for joining us and welcome to Altos.
Thank you for having me.
Always good to have you on board. Tell us about the National Center, Trinidad and Tobago's best kept secret, the National Center for Persons with Disabilities.
All right, so the National Center for Persons with Disabilities, as you may have heard, We recently celebrated our 60th anniversary in December, and we are a vocational training center. But before developing or evolving, I should say, into a vocational training center, we started off as a pilot project when they had the outbreak of polio, just with 7 clients. And here in 2025, we have over 200 students registered at NCPD. What do we do here? Yes, we're a vocational center. We offer skills training, woodwork, welding, agriculture, food prep, beauty culture, office administration, garment construction, and printing and bookbinding. But along with learning a skill, we offer life skills, comprehensive sexual education. We have computer literacy, independent living skills, music, art, because we believe, when they come here, we want to provide that holistic education. And it's not just about coming here to pursue a skill, but our goal is to empower persons with disabilities so that, when they leave NCPD, they can function like normal in society. We encourage them to believe in themselves, build their self-esteem, because the reality is persons with disabilities, there's still a stigma placed on them. And, you know, people see them as vulnerable in society. They are taken advantage of. And when they come here, to us, it's not just, as I said before, it's not just about gaining a skill, but gaining that holistic development so that they can, feel good about themselves and feel
So
proud
we
about
truly we
themselves.
ask people, and the logo says it's to see the
Yeah,
ability
yeah,
rather than disability. Tell us, what
yes.
did winning this competition mean for the children and for the administration persons like yourself?
Oh, places like myself, I was really excited because I'm a big Marshall fan. But, um, you know, winning this competition, to be quite honest with you, like words cannot express how exciting and fulfilling it was, seeing Marshall here last week Friday. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. The students, they stood in that sun. The sun was so hot, and they stood in that sun for almost 2 hours just enjoying themselves and partying. It was really, really an exceptional experience. And you know what warmed our hearts is that Marshall and his entire team came, and they just didn't come and perform. He ensured that he invited them on stage, because usually, sometimes people will say, no, they can't come on stage and so forth. He invited them on stage. Some of them didn't want to come off the stage, and he was like, it's fine, leave them, because he wanted them to enjoy the experience. And they did, his mom, his wife, they were all so welcome, and it was heartwarming to see that they appreciate them for who they
In
are.
fact, one of the reports said that Marshall was even brought to tears by the experience.
Yes, yes. And he told me, listen, principal, don't have me crying today. I said, well, I can't promise you that. But it was just he all our students, whether they were we have students who are deaf, and they were in the crowd dancing. Some of my colleagues, like not at NCPD, but they were like, they can't hear, right? But how they dancing, and they're dancing in tune of the music. So I had to explain that they feel the beats and so forth. It was really,
It's an exciting experience.
it was really,
How
really
do you,
nice.
how does the center plan to use the publicity gained from this exciting experience so as to help, further dismantle the barriers that are placed in the way of the disabled?
Okay, so I know you saw the post where, we are no longer best kept secret. And this is what NCPD needed to break that barrier. We needed that big push, because yes, we do sensitization sessions and advocacy sessions to break that barrier, but this is what we needed. This opportunity fell on our lap so that we can break the barrier, not just for NCPD, but for the entire disability community. And we're going to use it to, continue to break the barrier even faster, reach out to different companies. And you know what? Just like yourself, a lot of people are reaching out to us because of it. Every day this week, I had an interview, and it's really exciting to know that people want to reach out to us to learn more about NCPD, to learn more about the disability community. So we're going to do that.
Tell us, as we close, how can people who want to help, those people who've been reaching out, how can they contribute? How can they help the center?
So they can help the center. I will share my number. It's 652-4880. You can reach out to us at ncpd.trinidad@gmail.com, and we will share the bank account information if you want to do like a contribution, or you can call us if you want to do like voluntary service, or anything. You can feel free to reach out to us, and we will liaise with you accordingly.
Principal, we want to thank you very much. We know you enjoyed your partying with the monk.
We definitely did.
with Michelle, and we really hope that we're able to see the same excitement spill over into the work and a year-round attention to the center.
Indeed.
The Center for Principal.
Yes.
Yes. So we thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you sometime in studio with us. Have a good afternoon.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. God bless.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support.
How would you say it? Thank you for your love and support. I remember that.
You got it?
I remember it. Thank you for your love and support.
Thank you for your love and support. Thanks very much.
Thank you for your love and support.
In this week's issue of the Catholic News, Vicar for Communications, Father Robert Christo, says carnival is in his DNA, but says Christians need to transform the annual festival from its darker notes. The precursor to the steel pan is the tambu bambu. We give you a closer look at the instrument. Miss World 1986, Giselle Aron West, writes about embracing soft skills for leadership in our special God at Work supplement for the upcoming International Women's Day on March 8th. Here are the clergy anniversaries for this week and the common events. And get a copy of the Catholic News Lenten Booklet Jubilee Edition, now on sale in all parishes. I am Raymond Sims, editor of the Catholic News.
And in some school sports news, St. Joseph's Convent San Fernando and Presentation College San Fernando were crowned champions of the 2025 Secondary Schools Track and Field South Central Championships at the Maniranjam Stadium in Marabella on February 19th. St. Joseph's Convent ended the two-day meet held on February 18th and 19th with a total of 261 points in the girls' category. Holy Faith Convent Pinal came second with 143 points. Presentation San Fernando held on to their lead after day one, ending with 360.5 points. St. Benedict's College were their closest challenger with 298 points. For the next few weeks, school athletes will compete in their respective zones, and the top athletes will qualify for the National Junior Championships. And that's a wrap for our show this week. And we thank you very much for viewing. We urge you as usual to continue to pray for Trinidad and Tobago, to read your Bible, learn your faith, and embrace the new season of Lent. Have a safe and blessed carnival, everyone. And as we go, we leave you the sweet sounds of the Holy Name Convent Steel Angels performing Dini's Plumbers, Now Leaving. The girls of the Holy Name Convent in Port of Spain kicked off their carnival celebration on Thursday. We urge you, as we do, to feel the energy as the students broke out into a conga line. Enjoy happy and safe carnival, everyone.
Altos was brought to you with the kind compliments of Rituals Coffee House.